So Gerrit, captain of the Belgians, wearing all white. Back to Dardenne, a tall blonde figure. Far side is Bakker. Vandenberg popping up on the far side. Erwin Vandenberg, key man up front for Belgium tonight. Line up early on, David Neary in a right back position where most of us expected him to play. Jobstein giving very little away before the match, trying to keep the Belgians guessing. And the Belgians are very concerned about the way Scotland would play. He's had to prepare various different sets of tactics for the game. So a strong wind blowing against Scotland at the moment. Rather blustery out there, but the rain has gone off for the moment, although I have the suspicion it's not far away. The Belgians continue to press forward on the left. Strachan back fighting. Cook is robbed by Archibald. Now Souness. Jim Bed has taken up a position in the left midfield. Roy Aitken is remaining in the heart of the defence, alongside Hansen and McLeish. So already I think Ian, the Scottish tactics becoming clear.
Yes, they are. Roy Aitken has got the job as sweeper. Alan Hansen will obviously be a marker. It looks as if he might pick up Van der Elst. Now Alan's not that type of player. He doesn't play that system with Liverpool, and I always find it a little bit dangerous when Scotland use tactics like this, because our players are not used to man-to-man marking.
So break in the right by Archibald, followed by Dardenne, number 3. Retaining possession well. Dalglish wearing unfamiliar number 11. He's still going forward, and the flag has gone up on the far side. Dalglish was upset. It was not Dalglish who was offside. I think it was Steve Archibald. So the Belgian free kick. Jean-Marie Pfaff, the goalkeeper from Bayern Munich, just recovered from a broken nose. Van der Smissen on the right. Cook, number 10, will be a key man in the centre of midfield for the Belgians. That just found its way to Gerrit from Meus. Gerrit's coming forward, the crowd love this. It's tackle and it's penalised. A very soft whistle blown by referee Antonio Garrido. And I think Jim Bett was perhaps a shade unlucky. You can see from that picture of Gerrit, the wind blowing fiercely behind the Belgians. They have one or two experts from free kicks. Surely though is too far out as Cook lines it up. Wide it goes to Bakker. Verkouteren. Hansen's there for Scotland. Cook again, the man wanting possession in the middle of the field. Bakker trying to play it back, and Neary steps in. Now Dalglish. Strachan. Scotland persisting in a short passing game when they have possession, making sure they find their men. As soon as switching the pattern, this is Archibald. Crowded round them are several Belgian defenders. Vandenberg, robbed by Frank Gray. Now Hansen for Scotland. So McLeish, Aitken and Hansen appear to be sharing the central defensive duties. Neary pushing wide on the right, and Frank Gray being given some freedom to push forward on the left. This is Aitken. Coming forward again to telling effect for Scotland. This is Strachan. Very composed opening by Scotland. Pass from Souness. This is Strachan. Souness has gone forward. He has Archibald ahead of him. He's onside. Dalglish waiting in the middle. Bett is arriving also. That's for Bett. The clearance by Gerrit, but a promising move by Scotland. They put some passes together coming forward. Now they may be exposed. Here's Van der Elst. Tremendous pace. And well tackled by Neary. Clayton doing well to keep the ball in play. Van der Elst scored twice against Scotland at Hampden in the last European Championship, and scored once here in the Heysel Stadium. So rather a psychological choice for the Belgian manager Guy Thys, who did not have Van der Elst on the side of the last match against Switzerland. Header from Dalglish. Neary under pressure, but it's Scotland's throw. Well, not a bad composed start for Scotland, Ian.
Yes, I'm quite happy about this start. The good players in the team, by that I mean the composed players, the football players like Souness, Dalglish and Strachan, they're getting a hold of the ball, and they look as if they're quite happy with the way they started the game. And I think what we've got to do, obviously, is keep a hold of the ball when we've got it, so that we don't give it away and don't get caught with this counter-attack that I think the Belgians like to use.
Strachan takes Scotland's throw to Neri. Now McLeish. Aiken, the Belgian defence came out. Neri beat the offside trap and forced Faf into conceding the throw. Intelligent play by both Roy Aiken and David Neri. Faf is the only Belgian player playing the Bundesliga for the moment, Bayern Munich goalkeeper. Archibald back to Strachan. Now Neri. 5 is Hansen. And again the Belgians playing offside. Well, they could suffer for that, Ian.
Well, yeah, they're coming out to attack the ball. When Scotland play a square ball or play a ball back, they're coming out quickly to try and catch him. And then, of course, if they win it, then they can break away from it.
Well, that tells you what the surface is like. Easy on top. Van der Elst with Frank Gray. Free kick is given, and I think it's given to Scotland. Well, Francois Van der Elst is protesting to the referee, but the decision is a foul on Frank Gray by Van der Elst, and that is a welcome decision for the Scottish defence. Souness. Archibald. Souness getting a lucky break there to find Bet. Now Strachan has switched to the left. He's got Gray on the outside. Archibald at the far side of the box. Bet is also in the box. This is Dalglish. Now Strachan, he's offside, I think. Yes, the referee acknowledges the linesman's flag on the far side. Interesting to see Gordon Strachan switching from the right flank to the left. And that, I'm sure, also is designed to confuse any Belgian tactics, which might have been prepared for Gordon Strachan, who certainly is very highly regarded among the Belgians. Off the head of Frank Gray, that's Belgium's throw. The crowd rather muted for the moment. This Belgian crowd spoiled by a run of 16 victories in a row in the Heysel Stadium for the country. 87, the last defeat against Italy in a friendly by 1-0, and since then 16 games in a row. Remarkable record. And the long-range effort from Verkouteren on the left. Happily over the top for Jim Leighton, but Verkouteren is a menace coming in off the left flank.
Yeah, Verkouteren played very well in the World Cup for Belgium. Jog is a terrific left foot. He plays some lovely balls in from that side. It's very accurate, and of course from set pieces as well, he can smack them. So if he gets any chances, especially conditions as they are tonight, with a blustery wind behind him and the wet ground, he can get them on target. A lot of problem there for Jim Leighton.
So the pass back from Aiken to Leighton. Hansen wants it short. And Scotland playing the build-up slowly from the back through Souness. Aiken, a run from Strachan. There's Dalglish coming across to make that into a good pass. Now it's Neri. Strachan a bit casual with the ball intended for Souness. And Strachan getting back a long way to Rob Bakker. Hansen trying to find Dalglish on the right touchline. Mears. The Belgians come forward again, switching tactics with a long ball to the right to Van der Elst, supported by Van der Smissen. Cook. Dardenne is wearing number 3, but likes to come forward in the midfield where he plays for his club Standard Liège. Dalglish waiting for support from midfield. Bet on the left touchline. This is Frank Gray. Bet is still available on the outside. Gray attacking the Belgian defence, and the short ball inside for Dalglish is cut off by Cook. Well, that throw carried in the wind beyond Verkouteren for Scotland's throw. Strachan. Cut off by Dardenne. Van der Elst. Good tackle by Souness. Strachan is offside. Well, the Belgian defence again pushing out very rapidly indeed in a line, and it may well be that Scotland can capitalise on that before the end. So, intelligence up front, I think, with Dalglish and Strachan, particularly having the guile to break that down. Dalglish, Frank Gray. Souness available inside. Now Neri. Souness trying to command the midfield. Archibald making a good run. Going past Meus. Good cross by Archibald, and it's turned behind by Manders Missen, happily for a corner kick. Happily from the point of view of Belgium, but Scotland now have the chance to apply some pressure. Well, I wonder if they'll take the chance to bring any the tall defenders forward. Hansen certainly staying back, so is Roy Aitken. But McLeish has joined the attack. Neri hovering outside the box as Dalglish plays it to the near post. Archibald appear to be pushed, or McLeish rather. McLeish trying to get back, and he commits the foul. But that was born of frustration, I think, about the fact he was not given a foul when he was pushed at the near post.
Well, he was definitely pushed, Jock. You know, it's a pity we're not going to see that one again. He definitely got pushed in the back there when Dalglish played that near post corner.
Cook for Belgium. Banders Missen. Cook again. Van der Lecht midfield player. Van der Elst. That's behind Gerrits. Gray makes the challenge. Bet showing his strength. Holding off Van der Elst to release Dalglish. Dalglish has Archibald ahead of him. That's a good pass for Archibald. Back to Dalglish. And Scotland take the lead. A marvellous opening. 12 and a half minutes of the first half gone, and a vintage goal from Kenny Dalglish, his 27th in the Scotland jersey and his 89th international. And what a start that is for Scotland. There it is again. The pass found Archibald from Dalglish initially. Archibald very intelligently with that return pass with the left foot, finding Dalglish, continuing the run forward, and that's where Dalglish is so deadly.
Oh, superb goal. Really superb goal. Kenny, as it happens, has started off the game in this first sort of 14 minutes of the game, playing very, very well. And as you know, he's been playing terrific for Liverpool of late. That was a beautiful inch-perfect pass to Archibald, who, to be fair to him, did terrific then by squaring it and letting Kenny run through, only goalkeeper to beat. That was a well-executed goal, tremendous goal.
Yes, certainly a goal to remember for Scotland. And that will no doubt give the Belgians a great deal to think about. They won with comparative ease in the last two occasions the sides met. But clearly the Scots have stated their case early in the match. They've never looked in trouble at the back either, and with that great piece of imaginative forward play, Dalglish and Archibald linking to telling effect, and it was great play from Archibald, much criticised at home and among a lot of the Scottish supporters, but that was a pass of great quality.
Well, he's been having a bit of an up and down season with Tottenham. He's had injuries, of course, but he's not been showing the same flair that he had a year or so ago. But certainly tonight he's looking on song.
Scotland growing in confidence. Here winning a lot of the loose balls now in midfield. That was Souness battling for his country, and the throw is given to Belgium. Souness protesting as he goes back, thinks he was fouled, I think. This is Ceulemans. We've seen very little of Ceulemans so far in the match. Very experienced player, and his 36th international for Belgium. Tackle from Dalglish was enough to deny Vanders Missen, and now Bet. Archibald off the run on the left again. Bet prefers to play it back to Gray. That's for Archibald. He's offside. The flag was up immediately. The ball was played by Gray. Walter Meus was the marker, but Archibald has had a fine start to the match for Scotland. Dardenne. Bakker leaving it to Verkouteren. Cook is number 10. You may be able to hear some of the Scottish supporters celebrating now. There aren't very many Scots in the stadium tonight, but they've certainly enjoyed the opening 15 minutes. Now Bet. Just his second international, against Holland in his debut earlier in the year. Now Roy Aitken. Hansen. There certainly doesn't appear to be a great deal of urgency about the Belgians, Ian.
No, I think if I was a Belgian fan, I'd be a little bit annoyed at the moment because they're just standing back and allowing Scotland to dictate the game.
Souness playing it forward for Archibald, and he might have had hopes that the wind would hold that up, but the ball sped through for a goal kick to Belgium. So very composed start to the match for Scotland. They have settled on the ball, they've made their passes accurately and safely, and of course they produced that one great spark of inspiration which has given them the lead. Leash with the throw back to Leighton. The wind now appears to be swirling a little, not quite so directly against Scotland. No one waiting on the right flank for Leighton's kick out, so Jos Dardenne throwing the ball forward to Bakke. Cook forced to go back to Meus, very experienced central defender, 31 years old. Also plays for Standard Liège, as do three of the back four players for Belgium. Now for Cowton. Lofting it in, Van der Berg going to the right side by Leighton. Chance in the rebound. Scotland from Cullinan. And Gray gets it away off David Derry. Well, that was so very close. Jan Cullinan was to hit the ball with a deflection. But Jim Leighton undoubtedly the hero of the hour for Scotland. Well, we'll see the quality of the class coming in here, Ian. This flighty ball from Vercouten, swerving away, Leighton comes and eventually scrambled clear.
Well, I did say before about Vercouten's left foot. I mean, the ball played in was superb, and Scotland have got to guard against that.
Corner kick taken to Cook. Culliman's going for it, Bet challenging. That should be Scotland's throw, I think. Yes, the linesman's decision is clear. And it's accepted by referee Garrido. So Frank Gray, no hurry out of your picture to take this throw as Bet takes up position ahead. So does Souness. Here's Dalglish inviting the tackle from Dardenne. The ball was out, that should be Scotland's throw. Bit of frustration creeping in there between Van der Smissen and Dardenne, numbers 8 and number 3 for Belgium. Souness leaving the throw to Frank Gray. Dalglish playing it in towards Souness. It comes awkwardly off Cook to Bet. That's for Archibald to chase if he can get in behind Dardenne. The long leg of the Belgian defender intercepts and he's fouled from behind by Steve Archibald. An apology from Archibald, a word of warning from referee Garrido. The match is already underway. Dardenne limping back into the action. Van der Smissen plays it wide to the left to Vercouten. Van der Smissen again. Well, the Belgian passing certainly hasn't been as accurate as we might have expected. But they had a chance to build again. Dardenne striding forward, Bet in the way. Now Cook towards Cullimans, back towards Dardenne. Gray picks it up for Bet and goes in support. Archibald again making a run up front. Dalglish is also there. Meus should be in command there, and it's out for the throw to Scotland. Dalglish also has had his critics in a Scotland jersey, but he certainly has played very well so far tonight. Complemented the midfield and defence. There's Strachan. Now Souness. Back to Archibald. Now Strachan. The whistle had already gone, I think. I wonder if referee Garrido will bring that back. Strachan, after a very involved opening 5 minutes, has been very well marked since then. The Belgians trying to play everything through Cook, number 10. Now Cullimans letting it run. The break of the ball. I wonder if that was handball. This is Van der Elst checking inside Gray. Danger here for Scotland. Cullimans wants support from Cook. Great tackle from Strachan. Surely Strachan was fouled. Gerrits, the offender. And that was us seeing another side of Gordon Strachan's talent, and coming back there to make a very important tackle.
Well, I must say about the Scottish players as a whole, you know, they're all doing very well and going to the ball defensively. You know, whenever a ball has gone loose at all, we've got a blue jersey going quickly to the ball. All the lads are working really well.
So Scotland's free kick, Roy Aitken to take it. Dalglish had made a run off his marker, Jos Dardenne, and the ball went over the top. Dalglish tackling, the break of the ball falling for Dardenne. Now Vandenberg. Van der Smissen leaves it to Gerrits. Meus inside. Dalglish snapping at his heels. Now Cook looking for Verkouteren. Neri in good position. Strachan immediately finding space on the right. Through ball for Vandenberg, and Leighton quickly off his line. So Vandenberg, the winner of the European Golden Boot 2 seasons ago, when he scored 39 league and cup goals for his club Anderlecht, denied on that occasion. Good layoff from Archibald once more. Strachan under pressure. Cook playing it in field. Now Gerrits gets a special cheer of his own from the Belgian supporters, running into that crowd of Scottish players. Soonest making the pass forward to Dalglish, holding off Van der Smissen. Strachan to Archibald. Neri, Souness. Dalglish to Strachan. Keulemans. Verkouteren switching back to the left. Scotland funneling back in numbers, leaving only Dalglish and Archibald up. Every other Scottish player facing the ball as Cook tries to probe for an opening. Again, Scotland equal to that. Aitken showing his strength coming forward. Now Strachan, Bet on his left. Gray immediately arriving in support on the left touchline. Dalglish wants it inside. Bet leaves it to Strachan. Gray now to Hansen. Here's Archibald trying to turn past Meus, and Meus showing his studs is penalised. Well, that certainly wouldn't have been a foul, I don't think, in Great Britain, but to Scotland's advantage, that's a free kick. And a chance again for Scotland to push men forward. This time, though, they're leaving all the central defenders back. McLeish, Aitken and Hansen have stayed back. That one-goal lead will be protected doggedly, I've no doubt.
Well, Scotland are in command, Jock, and the fact that they've got this goal up now, they don't have to try and win the game. All they need to do now is hold it, and of course that would suit them. And against a team like Belgium, it's the best way to play, because they themselves, as I said before, are a counter-attacking team. Now, with Scotland not having to go and get this goal, they can sit and keep possession like they did before there. They had about 10 passes, knocking the ball around, and that will entice the Belgians in, and then we'll maybe get a crafty little pass going forward to get the lads in for a goal.
Meus playing it short to Van der Smissen. Cook. Verkouteren. This is where his pace could be so dangerous for Scotland. Van der Elst is there. There's Vandenberg. And that's the equaliser. 25 minutes in the first half gone. Vandenberg justifies his manager's confidence with the equaliser, but it was all down to Frank Verkouteren on the left. Scotland had to beware these breaks on the left of Verkouteren. Leighton went into the challenge there with Van der Elst. It brought back to Vandenberg. A bit unlucky perhaps for Leighton, and Vandenberg made no mistake.
Well, we've got to do something about Verkouteren. You know, just saying before how Scotland were in command. Now, of course, it's back to square one. But this boy has got such a lovely left foot. Every time he knocks the ball into that ball, he's so active. That was a superb ball. Leighton did very well, as it happened, to come out and challenge for it. But the Belgians got the break. It dropped lovely for Vandenberg, and that's it, 1-1.
So one apiece, 20 minutes of the first half left, and you can hear now the Belgian crowd getting behind their team. Gerrits going down, they seem to make a meal of that as Beck made a challenge. The The referee has reacted by giving the free kick to Belgium. And I wonder just what effect that goal may have on the Belgian morale, because they certainly appear to be struggling until that point, and Scotland seem to be doing everything right. This may be a hectic period for the Scottish defence. Poor free kick by Gerrits. As soon as keeping calm at the edge of the box to play it back to Leighton. So that was just about the first time in the match the Belgians have hit the dead ball line, and the result was devastating. So Gray playing it back, and Scotland will have to be very diligent indeed. Their concentration must not lapse as the first half wears on, and Dalglish's early goal in the 13th minute is equalised by Van den Berg. Gerrits for Belgium. Meus. Hansen attacking the ball, getting in front of Cook. Bet to Souness. Strachan. There he's on his outside. Souness being invited to take command again in midfield. Strachan made some space to accept the return pass. Now Archibald to Souness. Neri. Strachan again. Well, what a confidence here among the Scots. Good tackle eventually by Verkouteren. Now Van der Elst breaks for Belgium. Hansen sticking out his left foot. Yes, Vander's missing. Cook hanging back to take the pass in midfield. Neri has to take this. Well, appeared to be a bit uncertain. And the flag was up for offside in the event against Verkouteren. But a bit of uncertainty there between Neri and Leighton, which almost cost Scotland.
Well, David Neri has been caught a couple of times, you know, with balls played inside him. Is it because that the lad's not used to playing, you know, in the right back position? But that was I mean, for any defender getting caught with a ball played inside you like that is really criminal. And that's the second time it's happened. It happened for the goal as well.
Beautifully controlled layoff by Dalglish. Bet to Souness. That's for Neri. The wind is now becoming very treacherous indeed, swirling around the stadium, making long passes very difficult indeed. Dalglish with that firm challenge concedes the throw to Belgium. Van den Berg. Keulemans. Bakken. Gerrits. That's the Belgians starting to string passes together. Leighton watching that carefully. That's not easy in these conditions. He took it well. Gerrits made the cross. Archibald with Bakker. Cook. Dalglish's tackle judged unfair by the referee. Dalglish wanting to have a discussion there, I think, with Verkouteren, and I wonder what language they used. Keulemans hanging back from his striking partners Van der Elst and Van den Berg. Now Keulemans coming from a midfield position through the middle to support them and provide a little bit of help for Cook in midfield. Gerrits is over there, inside left position. Keulemans to Van den Berg. Back to Verkouteren. He wants to attack Neri. Aiken's headed out. But it was Aiken who closed them down, and the chance for Keulemans goes a-begging. Well, suddenly the Scottish defence looks none too happy. Keulemans had the chance. Well, Aiken was battling hard. He made two important challenges inside the box here. The 1-2 attempted, Vandenberg appeared to miss out on the chance for Cowton now. Going at Mary, playing it in, Aiken headed it out, then made the second challenge. Good play by Aiken. Now that awkward ball falling for Ceulemans, and the shot went past the post. Archibald is caught offside. Less than quarter of an hour now, the first half left. Belgium 1, Scotland 1. The opening goal by Kenny Dalglish, equalised by Vandenberg. Bet challenged immediately by Van der Smissen, got helped by Dalglish. Dalglish tackled by Gerrits. Gerrits having his 44th cap tonight. Frank Gray is 28th. Bet forced out, it's Belgium's throw. Belgium captain Eric Gerrits. Plays it short to Cook. Cook made a great impact in the World Cup finals. Van der Elst beaten by Hansen. Vandenberg for Cowton on the left. Van der Smissen has it. Now Ceulemans. Hansen intercepts. Gerrits is free in the right. Some gaps now appearing for Belgium. There's Ceulemans. Leighton challenging Van der Elst, and the flag was up for offside. And Leighton making it plain to for Cowton that he did not relish the challenge after the whistle had gone.
But there's a lot more movement now among the Belgian players. You know, they're all getting the ball, moving it around, challenging and everything. They're playing with a lot more spirit than they were in the opening 15 minutes.
I think now Scotland may be happy to go into the interval all square, regroup for the second half, when they certainly will have the elements to help them. Unless, of course, the wind switches direction. Gerrits playing it forward. Van der Elst challenged by Hansen. Here's Aiken. Aiken and McLeish back men. Hansen operating just in front of them. Well, Aiken's had a good match so far for Scotland. Van der Smissen going back. Standard Liège. Good field player. Frank Gray's made a good run in the left to take Hansen's pass. Bet supporting. Inside is Dalglish. Now Souness. Well, this is how Scotland started. Stringing passes together. Nothing too ambitious. Making them all tell. Here's Bet. Souness hanging back in an open position. Hansen. Strachan offering himself short on the right. Takes it from Bet. Now McLeish. Well, Scotland happily putting passes together in the Belgian half. Archibald needs some support. Certainly done plenty of running in the match so far for Scotland. Dalglish. Well, that's a great turn by Dalglish. Chance now on for Scotland. Dalglish is back! Oh. And that is a goal to remember. Marvellous play by Kenny Dalglish, and if anyone cares to question his ability in a Scotland jersey, let him look at that goal again. Absolutely magnificent. Perhaps the only man in the United Kingdom who could have done this. Great play, and look at the finish with the left foot.
Well, what a superb goal, John. I mean, Kenny Dalglish has been playing this season with Liverpool as well as he's ever played in his life, I should think. And what a superb goal. But the build-up to it, as I was saying before, how when Scotland were keeping possession and knocking the ball around, that then we could maybe get a nice little crafty pass going in. And it was Graham Souness who played the ball forward to Dalglish. But look at the turn. Used the outside of his foot, turned the ball, come inside, the lunging tackle, and then saw where the goalkeeper was and just bent it around with his left foot. And that is a goal that the best players in the world would be proud of scoring that one.
No question about it, and it's very hard seeing class of the highest order like that not to feel very proud to be a Scotsman in the Highsell Stadium. Strachan tackled by Cook, the referee giving a good advantage, but That breaks down for Cowton, used an arm. Scotland get the free kick. Well, that goal from Dalglish stunning the Belgian crowd. Anticipated that there would be about 45,000 in the stadium, but there are precious few empty seats. And although it costs £26 for a centre stand seat for tonight's match, I reckon that goal from Kenny Dalglish was worth every penny. Scotland again have the free kick. Archibald. Now Strachan. Kellermans. Neri. And Dalglish offside. Well, a lot of passes again being strung together by Scotland. I just wonder how many passes there were among Scots players before that goal.
Well, I'll tell you, we're in double figures because they started to move down the left-hand side of the field, and then it was transferred across to the other side. And, you know, this was the idea of the game tonight, that Scotland want to keep a hold of the ball, as we said at the beginning. And Graham Souness, of course, has been the architect in the middle of the field there, getting it from one side, playing out the other, playing in little groups, changing the point of attack. And they did it superbly, and of course, to finish with a goal at the end of it, it was the perfect lesson, wasn't it?
Yes, I think that's a goal which may well be shown many, many times in coaching courses. Perhaps Ian St John playing a vital part.
Yeah.
So Pfaff electing a long ball downfield. Van der Elst. That's a good pass to Kellermans, and Vandenberg was offside in any event. And that goal from Scotland appears to have stunned not only the Belgian crowd, but the Belgian players. They possibly realise that they have been witnesses to a goal scored by that man, Kenny Dalglish, which will undoubtedly match anything we'll see this season or any other, perhaps. Cook beaten by Souness. Souness lifting his left foot too high, I'm sure, and that'll be a free kick for Belgium. There's 7.5 minutes of the first half left, and the scoreline quite remarkably. Belgium 1, Scotland 2. 2 goals from Kenny Dalglish, 1 from Erwin van den Berg for Belgium. One little group of Scots to my right, still singing in celebration. Although there's a long way to go. Van der Smissen with Vet and Dalglish challenging. Walter Meus. Van den Berg took up good position, so did Kellermans. Great play from Belgium. Van der Elst. And this time it's the Belgian time to celebrate. Francois Van der Elst, the hammer of the Scots, does it again. Well, what a remarkable game this has become. Van der Elst scored 3 times his last 2 matches against Scotland. A great build-up. Van den Berg to Kellermans, then Van der Elst, and that just sneaking in at Leighton's left-hand post.
Well, I think there's lots of concentration, John, with Scotland. You know, after scoring the goal, I think they themselves are going to sleep a little bit. And look at the space he's got there when the ball is played to him. Frankie Gray gets caught and let him on the inside there. And the shot looks to me as if maybe the goalkeeper sort of dived over it a little bit. I mean, it's always difficult from this angle, but it slipped in at the corner, mind you. As I say, it's difficult to blame the goalkeeper on a thing like that, but you can certainly blame the defenders for going to sleep again.
So there's a scoreline, Belgium 2, Scotland 2, and only 40 minutes of the match gone. Quite remarkable. So Gerrits, the Belgian captain, has renewed heart as he comes forward. Jos Dardenne. Bakker to Verkouten. Switching the pattern again, testing out Leighton, and the Aberdeen keeper is equal to the task. Dre may have some personal nightmare about that goal. Appeared to be ball watching as a pass came forward to Van der Elst. Cook in the midfield. Now Bakker. Kellermans played a vital role in that goal for Belgium. Now Gerrits running into that sea of blue jerseys. Back it goes to Meus. Darden. Neri should win that for Scotland, but he has to concede the throw. The Belgian crowd supporting their favourites now, building up a chant behind the Belgian goal. Eric McLeish back to central defensive position alongside Roy Aitken. But it's Belgium's free kick. And with Verkouten's ability to bend these in, this could be a moment of danger again for Scotland. Everyone facing the ball except Steve Archibald. Short one to Cook. Sliding it in. McLeish clears it. Now Dalglish. Souness. Great pass to Strachan. Archibald the only man forward. Bett making a long run from a deep position. That's Jim Bett. Fine play from the Rangers midfield player. He was followed all the way, mind you, by Van der Smissen. Strachan carrying on. The ball was out for a throw-in. And I think that'll be a Belgian ball. Strachan not at all happy with the Portuguese linesman's decision, but that spur of dissent will avail him little. Just 3 minutes now left in the first half. Belgium 2, Scotland 2. Goals from Kenny Dalglish for Scotland and from Van den Berg and Van der Elst for Belgium. So McLeish the challenge with Van den Berg. It's Belgium's throw-in. Very crucial stage in the first half, the closing moments. Cook. Looking for the return pass, making a big time in the box. The referee's not interested, but I think he's entitled not to be interested. That appeared to be a blatant dive by Ludo Cook. Gerrett's going past Archibald and Aitken, but brought down by Roy Aitken, and the free kick. Now this could be very dangerous indeed for Scotland. They've got Cook and Verkouten who are capable of a lot of danger. There's the challenge. Clearly a very clean tackle coming in on Cook. So Gerrett's on the deck. Now this is where Scotland must not lose their concentration. Cook has great power on the left foot, so has Verkouten. These are the two men over the ball. Five-man Scottish wall lines up. Leighton bouncing on his line. Darden plays it straight into the wall, which stood firm. Archibald taking on Cook, taking the ball for a run. That's all he can be asked to do, I think. And he was impeded by Cook, and Scotland have the free kick. 90 seconds of the first half left. Aitken. Well, running into trouble. Keulemans as Van der Elst breaking, and that was an important interception, but the move is still on for Belgium. Scotland trying to get men back in the box, and McLeish makes the telling interception in front of Van der Elst. Good piece of play by the Aberdeen defender. Attacked the ball and got his reward, although it's a corner kick to Belgium inside the last minute of the first half. Verkouten taking it with his left foot, aiming to bend one in on Jim Leighton, but there'll be a hold-up before the kick is taken. Alan Hansen crouching down there. Hugh Allen, the Scottish physiotherapist, coming on. Now, I didn't see what damage was done to Alan Hansen. It must have been an upward stumble or a fall off the ball, I think, Ian. I didn't see anything happen to him.
I didn't see either. He may, of course, be just trying to take the heat out of the situation, because, as you say, it's right on half-time, and the crowd were getting excited. It was a good counter-attack, a good break by them, and maybe Alan's using some experience here just to take the heat out of it. Let's hope it works.
He's also a very good actor, if that's the case, Ian. Back it goes to Cook. The Scottish defence coming to meet him, and Cook bangs his fist in his side in frustration. That was a good opportunity. Roy Aitken looking very angry indeed at the space that was given to Ludo Cook. Look at all the room he had here. The Scots trying to close him down and the shot going wide.
But there again, looking at that picture there, you will see that Gordon Strachan was on the post, and played everybody onside.
And there goes now the half-time whistle with the scoreline. Belgium 2, Scotland 2. Referee Antonio Garrido checks his watch, and a crucial 45 minutes for European Championship hopes for Scotland is underway. Van der Elst picking that up with Bet. Chasing him, the tackle from Dalglish is penalised by referee Garrido, and that seemed to be a little bit unfortunate, but Eric Gerrits doesn't look too unhappy about the tackle from Dalglish. Nevertheless, he has the free kick. No changes in the Scottish lineup, and nor in the Belgian team at half-time. Well, I'm quite certain that both sides will want to freshen up in the strength-sapping surface before the end of the match. Here's Cook. Supported by Batje. That's a great ball in, won by Aiken. Souness down to McLeish, Neri, and Souness dictating play again early on in midfield for Scotland. Here's Archibald. For my money, had a good first half for Scotland. Lots of running, held up play very well indeed, led the line well, and created, of course, the opening goal for Kenny Dalglish. Now Bet, Dalglish, and Bet has carried on into an offside position. Belgians come out in the line, and Jim Bet going back did also did some very good running in the first half, Ian.
Yeah, I thought Jim Bet had a very good 45. You know, considering that it's only his second game, he's only a young lad. I thought he's pitched it in very well. He's used the ball well, used it very intelligently. He's worked hard to try and win it back when Scotland have lost it. And I think he's done very, very well.
Headed on from Ceulemans. Ceulemans became a much more important player as that first half wore on. With a vital part in the equalising goal for Francois van der Elst. There's Erwin van den Berg, who's been suffering apparently a crisis of confidence. He only scored 7 times so far this season for Anderlecht after winning the Golden Boot with 39 2 years ago. He scored 24 for Anderlecht last season. But the goals rather have dried up for Anderlecht. But unhappily for Scotland, he's managed one tonight. Now Mears. Strachan trying to steal the ball, but a little bit more strength required. Here's Ceulemans. Cook. Archibald doing well for Scotland. So does Strachan. Souness opens it out to Neri. There's Strachan. And Strachan is fouled off the ball there. Late challenge, but he's up on his feet and back in the action. Advantage given by the referee. The referee answering David Neri's question about the tackle on Strachan. Bet forward to Strachan, he's offside. Not at all happy with Jean-Marie Pfaff, and that certainly is a catch-weight contest. Strachan and Pfaff, the Belgian goalkeeper, squaring up. Well, you have to admire the little man's courage, if not his sense in that confrontation.
Well, that's twice that in the last couple of minutes, you know, that they've tried to play offside. And really the number 5 Bakke was almost playing him on there. That's twice he's almost played them on. You know, it was very marginal. It's always a risky business playing offside.
So the rain has gone off. Well, the wind is still blowing, and Meus. Now to Verkouten. Cook. That's for Verkouten. Neri watching it. Neri under a lot of pressure. And coping well. Very well indeed, in fact. Using Roy Aiken inside to come clear. Verkouten looking unhappy. Dalglish surely was fouled from behind by Dardenne. A late whistle from referee Garrido, but surely a correct one. Dalglish being crowded out by Dardenne and Cook. That's a good pass to Ceulemans. Just behind Van den Berg, forcing him to turn back. And Gerrits racing into space. He wasn't picked up. Archibald was the man who seemed to be caught out. Now Van der Elst. Vander's missing. That's towards Verkouten, and the Belgians using width to telling effect. McLeish with the clearance to Strachan. Oh, great play from Strachan. Perhaps the man most feared by the Belgians before the match. Anders Missen coming back. Great attack on Archibald. Walter Muse. Again, Verkoutern's found room on the left. And Strachan again in with a tackle this time, and pass to Dalglish. This is Souness. Bet is in space on the left. But Dalglish making the run and having to go into that tough tackle with Van der Smissen. Gerrits. Back here to Verkoutern. Inside to Van der Smissen. Bet is blocking his path forward. Now Cook. Gerrits is free in the right, but that's towards Vandenberg. Van Hansen leaves it to Frank Gray to make the challenge. Van der Smissen, the chance to cross. Aiken to Strachan.
Oh, little man.
Surely a foul. A tackle by Kulemans. The referee letting things go, leaving Strachan to come clear with the ball.
He was lucky really to get away with that, Jock, because he turned back into trouble there, and he was surrounded by two Belgian players. But he's having a fine game, little Gordon. He's bubbling away here. He's full of running, full of ideas.
As soon as his pass forward goes astray, and here's Kulemans again causing trouble for Scotland. Supported by Van der Smissen from midfield, who's playing more in the centre of the field than he did in the first half. Gerrits has Muse offering himself an overlap on the right. Gerrits doing it by himself, and Frank Gray stepping in. Now Gerrits, a very purposeful, adventurous fullback for Belgium. Chase for Archibald with two Belgian defenders. Dalglish picks it up. Little shimmy from Bet creates some space to work. It's asking a lot of Roy Aiken. Plenty of determination, but too many Belgian players there, and Scotland just a little bit stripped at the back as Verkoutern attacks Neri. The early cross this time, and harmlessly behind for the goal kick. Verkoutern explaining himself to his colleagues. Good layoff from Archibald, didn't quite reach Strachan. Aiken's header, collected by Cook. Queuing up in midfield to take that, Van der Smissen got it. Played full by Verkoutern, and Aiken's headed away. Scotland living just a little bit dangerously in midfield, leaving some gaps there for the Belgians to exploit. Leash leaping for that. Now Bet. Now can Strachan make something of this? Here's Archibald. Return pass finds Strachan. Van der Smissen doing well for Belgium, and clearly fouled by Gordon Strachan. The referee again allowing the advantage to keep play flowing. Mears, Kulemans coming off his marker, and Van der Elst is offside. It wouldn't have counted, but the problems being posed by Jan Kulemans, Ian, really are considerable.
Well, Kulemans is playing in a very awkward position, you know. He's playing sort of behind the two front players of Vandenberg and Van der Elst, and he's moving around in that area, you know, getting into spaces in between our midfield players, and he is causing a few problems. But the referee set that up really by allowing the game to go, and I think he's doing well in that respect. You know, he is allowing the game to go rather than just stop it all the time. I like to see that from referees.
Strachan losing control. Verkoutern steps in, and Van der Elst is free at the right. A great chance for Belgium. Hansen trying to get across, and great goalkeeping from Jim Leighton. That was a crucial save for Scotland. Applause all round the stadium, and mainly for the Scotland goalkeeper Jim Leighton, although Francois Van der Elst appeared to do most things right. Verkoutern made the pass. Look at the space for Van der Elst. The angle was right for Leighton. He kept his eye on the ball, and Scotland survived. Verkoutern. Now Cook, and that little break for Belgium developed from a mistake in the Scottish midfield. They lost possession casually, and that was something they didn't do too often in the first half. Cook in for Cowton, 1-2ing past Souness, and Dalglish displaying all his qualities. Now that is a strange decision. Free kick given against Kenny Dalglish. You can't quite believe it. Well, it didn't appear to be a foul to me, Ian.
It didn't appear to be a foul to me either, but he did go in a bit strong and he came in slightly from the back. But the referee's had a good game, you know, he's not made many mistakes.
Very experienced official, 50 years old, his 58th international tonight. And it may well indeed be one of his last, because I think he'll be forced to come off the list now that he's passed the 50 mark. Strachan now out to bet. Scotland not being seen in an attacking role in the second half so far, with just over 10 minutes gone. But it's all about consolidation now. A 2-2 final result would be most satisfactory. That's carrying through to Strachan. Cook is with him. Strachan burrowing his way past, pulling it back, and there's no taker. Both Dalglish and Archibald at the near post. And that really would have been a gift for any attacker coming in at the far side. Great play from Strachan.
It was terrific play from Gordon Strachan, and really, you know, Frankie Gray was a man on the far side who should have come up, because Jim Bett had come over, had been involved in the move, and he found himself on the right-hand side. But Frankie Gray was 30 yards from goals, just watching the whole thing building up. He should have been in there.
So the ball's behind for a throw to Belgium. Jos Dardenne forward to Meus. Steve Archibald cutting off the route to the goalkeeper, Guy Thijs. Walking towards the track to see the damage to Frank Verkouteren, who's on the deck. And I wonder if that may be diplomatic to give some change to the tactics for Belgium. He's off the field though, Verkouteren, for the moment, so Belgium are reduced to 10 men. Can't recall any incident in which he sustained an injury. Now can Scotland cash in? Souness, Neary inside, took up good position in the United man. Now Bet. Souness. Verkouteren signalling out of your picture to come back on the field. The ball forward, inviting a chase from Graham Souness, but they won't catch it, and it'll be a goal kick to Belgium. There's Verkouteren. He wants back on the field. The referee sees him, and not much trace of a limp there as he goes back on. Guy Thijs has a remarkable record as a Belgian manager. The 16 straight wins in the Heysel Stadium. And that run at considerable risk right now, especially if Kenny Dalglish can get a glimpse of goal again for Scotland. There's a careless ball. Now Dalglish, that glimpse we talked about. Bet going ahead, he's going offside. The run was slightly mistimed. Well, we must credit Jim Bett for being up in support of Dalglish so quickly, but his enthusiasm carrying him into the offside position.
Yeah, well, it was one of those debatable ones, wasn't it? He was just, if he was offside, he was just off and no more. But he's done well, Jim Bett. You know, when he sees an opportunity to go forward, he's made the run and he's helped the player with the ball.
Cook to Van der Smissen. Gerrit trying to link up with his midfield players. Eric Gerrit, inspiring figure coming forward normally for Belgium, but hustled out of that by the combined efforts of Gray, Archibald and Souness. And this is Jim Bett. Going forward in leisurely fashion. Strachan coming to help. Gray is inside. Neary making a run. Gray was trying to find them. McLeish playing it back to Roy Aiken. Whistles around the stadium, but no complaints from the Scots. So a change may well be made now in the Belgian ranks. Subs warming up. Good play by Archibald, showing a lot of strength to hold off Dardenne. Now Dalglish, Strachan, Bet. Turning to look for the support. Gets it from Gray. Well, that ball may be too long in the air for Gordon Strachan. And skidding off the wet surface behind for the goal kick. So the debate, I think, Ian, for the Scottish manager Jock's team may well be to consider whether or not he should be trying to push forward to exploit the excellent form of Ken Dalglish, or whether he must hold what he has.
Well, I think that the lads are doing a terrific job at the moment, and that they're always looking as if they might just catch the Belgians, you know, because the home team have got to try and win the game, and while they're doing that, they've left themselves exposed a few times, and it's just a matter of, you know, again, cashing in on it. I think the way things are going at the moment is fine.
Killemans for Belgium. Van der Smissen to Meus. Meus striding forward. The turn pass from Vandenberg is intercepted by Aiken, who's had a fine match in the heart of the Scottish defence. Strachan appeared to be caught in two minds, and he's paid the penalty. He's lost possession, and this is Van der Smissen. Killemans popping up again, this time in right midfield, flighting it in towards Vandenberg. McLeish, who's with him. Killemans robbed by Dalglish. Now Souness. Strachan just nipping it back to Neri and making space for the return pass. Dalglish making a run, followed by Dardenne, allowing Neri to go forward. Cook is with him. Neri wants to retain possession at the corner flag, waiting for Dalglish. Can Dalglish get in the cross? Has he won the corner? No, that came off Meus, but it's not behind. There's Neri. And Dardenne did well that time for Belgium. Forward pass from Verkouteren to Van der Elst. This is Vandenberg, and this is where Belgium at the most dangerous. Killemans. Well, he checked out. He appeared to be going on a wide run. Checked back inside, and that enabled Frank Gray to tidy up for Scotland. Killemans again showing his menace for Belgium. No Scottish player has been delegated the task of marking him exclusively. Souness finding Strachan and going for the return. Dalglish this time not being allowed to turn. The challenge from Bakke. Here's Killemans again, and lots of space for Belgium. This might be the man to tear Scotland apart. Van der Smissen to Van der Elst. And Van der Elst celebrates in typical fashion as Belgium take the lead for the first time in the match. Disconsolate Jim Leighton, but Scotland have paid the penalty for not picking up Jan Killemans. It was his pass to Van der Smissen, the return catching out Scottish central defence, and Leighton again with no chance as Van der Elst makes it 3.
Well, Van der Elst has gone away from Alan Hansen too many times tonight, for my reckoning. You know, I don't think Alan's a good marker. I don't think that's his game at all, and you can see that. Look at the space he's got there, almost a penalty spot. You can't blame the goalkeeper there. I was talking funnily enough to Johnny Lyle coming over to the game tonight, and he was telling me that Van der Elst is probably one of the best players in the game, going through a goalkeeper in a one-on-one situation. And we've seen that tonight, although Jim Leighton did make a great save earlier on from him. But 2 goals. It's shown that the West Ham player is back to his best.
And Ronnie Verheyen is on as substitute for Belgium, replacing Frank Verkouteren. Verheyen getting his 21st cap. He plays for Lokeren, the club from which Rangers obtained Jim Bett. There's Verkouteren, the tracksuit. And now, for the first time in the match, Scotland have to come from behind. That goal coming in the 18th minute of the second half, and I wonder if it may prompt some activity on the Scottish bench. Hansen. Bett. Now Strachan. That's for Dalglish, and the flag is up for offside. Wasn't a lot in that. Dalglish's frustration is clear. So Van der Elst, the benefactor as Killemans destroys the Scottish defence in the second half, as he did in the first for the equaliser, also scored by Francois Van der Elst. Van der Elst can't reach it. Now, might this result in a change in tactics, Ian, for Scotland?
Well, it looks to me as if Jock's sitting down there not really going to do anything about it. There's no substitutes, for instance, warming up. So at this particular stage, I think he's just going to see how it goes for the next 5 or 10 minutes.
There are still 25 minutes of the match left. Difficult ball for Archibald to take. Wind as the ball dropped awkwardly. And Steve Archibald has seen much less of the ball in the second half than he did in the first. See the ball hanging in the wind this time. Well controlled by Van der Smissen. That's to Verheyen. Actually, he's trying to pick out Strachan with the first time pass, and the substitute was in the way. Verheyen has stepped straight into Verkouteren's role on the left side of midfield. Archibald's managed to turn back here, but the cover from Meus is good enough for Belgium. And Dalglish making Faf move a little more smartly. Dardenne, only his 4th cap tonight. Bakke getting his 13th. Here's Keulemans. There's a completely free role in the Belgian setup. He can go wherever he thinks it may hurt the opposition most, and he's done that to telling effect tonight against Scotland. He's only 25 years old, but getting his 36th cap, and he made his debut as a teenager. Well, Strachan will battle to the end, that's for sure. This is Cook. Aiken, chase for Dalglish with Dardenne. There's no support at the moment for Dalglish, he'll have to hold it up. Bet. Frank Gray's on the left. Bet to Dalglish. And this time the tackle was swift enough from Bakke. And now Van der Elst trying to use his pace on Hansen. And once again, Keulemans has all the room in the world. Here's Kirk with the left foot. Great save again from Leighton. Well, the power shooting of Ludo Cook cannot come as a surprise to Scotland, but he had lots of space there, created once more by the positioning of this man Keulemans. Look at him in the space. He waits for Cook to arrive. Decoy run by Van den Berg. Look at the power in the shot and the goalkeeping of a very high standard. Now Dalglish. Well, the Belgian defence closing in mightily on Dalglish, and McLeish won't get away with that. Van den Berg goes down, and McLeish has to make the long run back, having conceded the free kick.
I think the ascendancy very much now with the Belgian team, Jock. Scotland look to me as if they've lost it a little bit now, and it might be in Jock's team's best interest now to think about putting a couple of players on, a couple of fresh legs, maybe even up front, you know, so that they can get something going again.
No sign of activity yet on the Scottish bench. They're sitting down in front of us here, and all 5 subs sitting happed up in their tracksuits. As Keulemans sets it up again for Belgium. Verheyen. Difficult ball for Leighton, lets it go. Van der Elst turning and winning the corner kick off Jim Bett. No, the linesman appeared to change his mind there, and in any event the referee is overruling him. Antonio Garrido says it's a corner, and that's the decision that matters. Van der Elst makes his way into the goalmouth. Van den Berg marked by Hansen, number 5. Taken by Verheyen. Leighton's committed. Fouled in the air by Van den Berg. Well, the Scottish keeper has shown all his courage tonight. Certainly lacks nothing in that department. Been a little bit unlucky, I think, you know, with the piece, with the goals.
Yeah, I think he's had a smashing game, Jim Leighton. I think he's, you know, maybe the second goal we thought he could maybe have got it, but other than that, he's had a really superb game. Made some fine saves.
And that was a good piece of play from Archibald, finding Bet on the left. Bet looking a little bit upset with the tackle from Van der Smissen. Scotland had a free kick on the left. Still not pushing the central defenders forward, although David Neary is waving McLeish into the box. Here's Dalglish. Back is the marker. Pulls it back from the line. Mayus is first to it. Now Dalglish fighting with Bakke. The referee gives the free kick once more. So the pressure goes off the Belgian defence for the moment. Dalglish, the scorer of both Scotland's goals. The last Scottish international player to score 2 goals in this stadium was a certain Ian St John 20 years ago in a World Cup playoff against Czechoslovakia. Much too modest to admit it.
It's never as long ago as that, was it, Jock? 20 years.
Just seems longer, Ian.
Yeah.
Tielemans again. Verheyen battling for Belgium. He's penalised goal for a spot of handball. The ball seemed to play him. He's a bit unlucky, I think, the Belgian substitute, but Scotland have the free kick. So still Belgium 3, Scotland 2. The Belgians coming from behind twice to take the lead. Here's Strachan now for Scotland. Oh, he's pulled down by Mayus, and the referee looked as though he was allowing advantage for the moment. And now he's pulled play back. Mayus with a very cynical foul on little Gordon Strachan, who was taking on the offside trap when he went down. Mayus, the former school teacher, teaching a lesson of a very different variety tonight. There's Strachan on the deck. The referee now allowing Hugh Allen to come on and administer some first aid. And Paul Sturrock starts to warm up on the track below us.
Well, it certainly was a cynical foul, all right, because the little man had cracked the offside. He'd played it beyond the players, and he was into the box, and Mayos just carved him up.
And the last man to score direct from a free kick for Scotland, as far as my memory serves me, was John Robertson, and he too is on the bench, scoring against New Zealand in the World Cup from a position not at all dissimilar to this. Now, what does Scotland have for this? The wind will assist the free kick. They can get the shot beyond that 5-man wall. Souness and Strachan there. Frank Gray waiting for it. Set up for Gray. Never quite got the ball in stride, but the deflection gives Scotland the corner kick. And this time the big men come forward. Verheyen goes back. There's Hansen. McLeish is there. Roy Aitken is also in the box. McLeish at the near post. Hansen hanging back, so is Roy Aitken. The near post ball for McLeish. And Dalglish couldn't keep it in, protesting to the referee that the ball was still in play, but that is a goal kick to Belgium. Once again, the rain falling steadily in the Heysel Stadium, and Scotland have 17 minutes to retrieve the situation. The referee coming to speak to Jan-Marie Pfaff, the Belgian goalkeeper, as he takes a lot of time over the goal kick. Bouncing away from Souness, picked up by Vandenberg. Mayus. Missed by Neary, Verheyen in behind him. A good pass inside, there's Vandenberg. The flag was up against Francois van der Elst. Vandenberg looking for handball, but the flag had gone up before he let fly as van der Elst raced into an offside position. McLeish challenging fiercely. Now Souness lofting that towards Archibald. Did well to get the ball at all, never mind directed anywhere. Tackle is required from Neary, and it comes, and Dalglish is onside. And he's fouled from behind by Dardenne. The Belgian defender was completely beaten by that. Great turn again from Dalglish. I wonder if Dalglish can make it a hat-trick. And that would take him just 1 goal off Dennis Law's all-time scoring record for Scotland. Dalglish now with 28 for his country. And Archibald is clearly offside. The Belgian defence spotting the run of Archibald and walking out. And now the Scots have 3 men warming up from the subs bench below us. Tommy Burns is there, Paul Sturrock is there, John Wark is also stretching his muscles in front of us.
We've got a couple of potential goal scorers here. John Wark, whose scoring record is terrific with Scotland. He might just be the man to put on at this stage, you know, to get your goal. And Paul Sturrock, of course, is a sharp little player. And but it's asking a lot of the players with only 14 minutes left to come on and do something. But I hope when they do come on, I see Tommy Burns is getting his tracksuit off, so it looks as if Tommy may be getting a game.
Looks as though it's Burns and Sturrock who'll come on for Scotland. Perhaps Jock Stein deciding that Jim Bett has done enough running for one night. He certainly has done plenty up that left flank for Scotland. And the guile of Tommy Burns may be very welcome freshener for the Scottish side.
It will be interesting to see if he takes off, who takes off, if he does, of any of the front players, whether he'll take off Archibald or Kenny Dalglish.
Well, I think there may be a few Scots in the crowd who would be unhappy if Dalglish departed the scene. Although he's certainly looking a bit leg weary now after all his efforts in the first hour of the match. But it's all speculation for the moment, although that's about to be answered in 1 minute because Hugh Allen is selecting the numbered boards to indicate who's going to come off. It will be Burns and Sturrock coming on as soon as comes forward for Scotland. Archibald's taking up good position on the left. He's lost the Belgian defence for the moment. Back going to meet him. Dalglish in the box. A high ball for Dalglish to challenge. Dardenne wins it. Breaks for Neri. Now Souness. And Strachan has beaten the offside trap. But Faf is in trouble. Well, Faf did well to take up that position as his defence raced out and Strachan couldn't capitalise. 10 coming off is Jim Bett, 7 is Gordon Strachan. Well, that's a very interesting decision. Strachan and Bett go off, Sturrock and Burns go on. And that means that Scotland are going to commit 3 men up front, I think, with Burns on the left midfield. Here's Sturrock involved straight away, being tackled by Dardenne. Scotland's throw. So Scotland now going for Broke up front with 3 out-and-out strikers. There's Jock Stein, his 39th international as Scotland manager. That's a record for men in charge of the Scotland side. And an equalising goal would make it a very happy night indeed for him. Scotland certainly have done an awful lot of things right tonight, but they trail by 3 goals to 2 with just 12 minutes left. Sturrock to Souness. Souness is brought down. That's a penalty kick. Foul by Ceulemans. Referee Garrido, no hesitation at all, and now we are faced with a most crucial penalty kick for Scotland. And the remarkable thing is that John Robertson, who scored 5 penalties for Scotland's off the field. Let's see the quality of the decision here. Sturrock played it back into Souness. Souness coming into the box, being followed there by Ceulemans. And I think that's a clear-cut penalty kick. Now, who will take it? Frank Gray has already scored 1 for Scotland. He's the only man in the field, I think, who's scored an international penalty for Scotland. Jim Bett too has scored for Rangers from the penalties, but he's off the field. But it's Frank Gray to face Jean-Marie Faf. Whistling round the crowd, and this is a real test of nerve for Frank Gray of Leeds United. Faf on the line. Frank Gray goes back. Gray against Faf. Referee waiting until everyone's out the box. Still not happy with the positioning of some of the players. Now Gray will take the kick. The save from Faf. And utter dejection of Frank Gray and his Scottish colleagues. Let's take a look at it again. Now, did the goalkeeper move? Let's check on that. Well, there's not much doubt about it. He was away before the ball was struck, but it was still a great save. A shot from Souness. Archibald challenging, cutting the wrath of the Belgian players. They appear to me to do nothing untoward. The ball appeared to be free. And spirits are high as Faf hits the deck. A yellow card for Steve Archibald, and that seems to me to to be a decision which was dictated by the reaction of the Belgian players rather than the action of Steve Archibald.
That's a load of nonsense, Jock, because the ball came away from the goalkeeper. It ran free. Archibald went in, and I don't think he even touched the goalkeeper. It was a fair challenge for the ball. And the goalkeeper's play acting here, and has got Archibald booked. And I must say that he took 2 steps before Frankie Gray took the penalty kick. You know, and they're always on about do goalkeepers move. He took actually 2 strides away from his goal line when the ball came in, so the referee should have made him take it again.
And the referee, who was very fussy indeed before the penalty kick, was not so fussy here.
Just watch this and you'll see. He takes 2 strides. There's 1, 2. Look where he is. I mean, he's a good yard off his line to narrow the angle. Goodness me, the referee's standing there watching it and doesn't let him take it again.
Well, I suppose he showed a lot of courage to give a penalty kick against the home side in the European Championship match in the first place. And perhaps was asking too much of his courage to order a retake. But you must have some sympathy for Frankie Gray. Scotland now with just 9 minutes to recover from that devastating blow. The penalty missed by Frank Gray, which would have given them equality. And the booking for Steve Archibald seemed to be very harsh indeed. Neus takes the free kick. The header from Hansen. Kulemans plays it forward. This is Van der Elst. A run from Verheyen. And he can't reach it, giving Scotland the throw. Dalglish has managed to turn his man again. Verheyen this time. And surely being impeded all the way back. Bit of carelessness too with use of the studs, perhaps by Verheyen after Dalglish went down. Souness now playing it to Hansen. Moment of inspiration now required for Scotland. The Belgians appear to be happy with what they have at any rate. Now content to sit back and hold on to their 3-2 lead. And both Sturrock and Archibald are offside. Dardenne, the tall blonde figure, stealing a few yards. Dardenne's free kick. Hansen's under it. Aiken down to Souness. Dalglish. Pass was much too firm from Souness for Dalglish. Hansen's interception. Now Aiken. Well, not much down about that foul by Cook. That was a rash moment. Recklessness by Roy Aiken. Correctly punished this time by the yellow card. Well, if Steve Archibald was unlucky, Roy Aiken certainly wasn't.
No, I don't think he could complain about that one, Jock. That was, he was frustrated because he'd lost the ball. He'd come out there, lost the ball to Cook, and then, of course, chased after him and had a little slash at him there. So really, you know, he can't complain about that one.
In fact, he may even consider himself lucky that it's Belgium were playing in, not England, where he might well have.
Oh yeah, he might have had the early bath for that one in England.
Little Cook recovers. It's Belgium's free kick, and the minutes tick away for Scotland. Just less than 7 minutes left. Dardenne playing it forward. McLeish underneath it. Here's Aiken. Losing to Kulemans. Aiken is pushed into midfield now with McLeish and Hansen, the central defenders. Sturrock tackled by Gerrits. Advantage allowed, waved on as Tommy Burns takes possession for Scotland. Burns playing it against Dardenne and winning the corner kick. Tommy Burns winning his 4th cap. Celebrates his 26th birthday tomorrow. An equaliser now would certainly make it a lot happier. Near post one for McLeish. Played in by Burns. There's Archibald trying to tee it up for Neri. It was well read by Verheyen. Well, Hansen was still onside, but the pass was too far forward and Hansen has to make the lonely run back.
It's very interesting that the linesman there, he doesn't stay up with the play, you know. I mean, when the Belgians all run out, he was left about 20 yards adrift, and it was the referee that gave the offside decision. Because the linesman, in his position, he couldn't tell. Obviously, he doesn't like a run, the linesman. So
Belgium's free kick, taken by Cook. happy to knock it way into the Scottish half. Burns pushed by Van der Elst. Interesting change in tactics for Scotland. McLeish and Hansen orthodox central defenders now, with Neri being given licence to push forward on the right flank. Aikens in midfield, where he's won his previous 5 caps, having played with some distinction in central defence for most of the match. Here's Verheyen. Hansen is well beaten by Keulemans. Souness getting back. The loose ball falling for Verheyen. Here's Keulemans again. The slanted, swerved pass intended for Van der Elst carries through to Leighton. Keulemans certainly has been the key man tonight for my money for Belgium. Stark is pulled down. I think it's Scotland's throw. Or has the referee given a free kick? Throw it is. Quickly taken. No, it's a free kick after all. Tommy Burns content to accept the throw. 4 minutes left. 4 minutes, 16 seconds to be precise. Here's Burns. Well, he thought Sturrock was ahead of him. The ball is out for a goal kick. And it's now Scotland against the clock. Hansen's header into space for Burns. Andersmussen is with him. Burns adjusting quickly to the pace of the match for Scotland. Very difficult to come on so late. Here's Cook. 1-2ing past Dalglish with Van der Elst. And then with Hansen, the flag is up against Vandenberg. Now Souness. Ball swerving out for a throw. No chance for Sturrock. And now Belgium will make their second substitution. Maurice de Schrijver's coming on. Another Lokeren player. And Vandenberg is coming off. And that means the defender in place of an attacker. Vandenberg greeted by Guy Thijs, the Belgian manager, as he goes off. So quite clearly Belgium now happy to play out these remaining moments and hold on to the 3-2 lead. 2.5 minutes left. Aiken for Scotland. Belgium leading by 3-2. This is Neri. Sturrock. Souness has a bit of room. Out in the far side, Tommy Burns. Scots waiting in the middle. Archibald, Dalglish. That's for Dalglish. Catching Burns on the wrong foot. Catching Dalglish on the wrong foot. The forward pass from Burns. Another Scottish attack peters out. Verheyen keeps the ball in. Plays a long one for Van der Elst. Souness, a little bit of a fine call, and here's Keulemans. Buzz of expectancy as he takes possession. Now Cook with Verheyen breaking on the left. Return ball from Van der Elst, carrying out for the throw. 90 seconds left. And time very much against the Scots. These moments of slackness when they allowed Keulemans to set up goals 2 and 3 now appear to be crucial. Quite apart from the penalty missed by Frankie Gray, which could have tied it up at 3 apiece. Archibald challenging with Faf's in trouble. The goalkeeper came a long way when he had defenders under the ball. Here's McLeish. Forward to Archibald. Dalglish is behind Archibald. Now Archibald running into the box. Showing good close control. The cross coming against Bakke. And now Verheyen on the break. Scotland are a bit stretched at the back. They've committed so many men forward. Keulemans trying to punish that. Frankie Gray closing him down rapidly. And he's happy to come back, Keulemans, to Niels. Seconds remaining only. Until last half minute, Van der Elst on the break with Hansen. Good interception by Alan Hansen. That long leg denying Van der Elst. Now McLeish to Souness. Right past the Burns. And a good tackle from Gerrits. 90 minutes have come and gone now. Into time added on for stoppages. There have been a few. Free kick to Scotland on the far side. Can Scotland fashion a last-minute dramatic equaliser? All the odds against them.
You can't blame the boys in terms of fighting spirit tonight. They've all battled. Every player has really battled for his country tonight. They put a lot of effort into the game, Scotland, and really don't deserve to lose this game.
Every Scotsman now going towards the box. Only Souness hanging back. Everybody in the box in the blue jersey. Archibald trying to get a touch. Back through to Hansen. There's Archibald. It's just stripped away by Bakke. And an offside decision was given in any event against Scotland's last chance. We're now into injury time. We've had 30 seconds of that. And rain now beating down steadily on the Heysel Stadium. The night which began so promisingly with Kenny Dalglish giving Scotland a 1-goal lead, then a 2-1 lead. Now looking as though it'll end in sadness.